Okay, so today we will be covering learning outcome to understand computer software. So as I already explained that the software, in order to define a software, is simple the set of instructions which run over the computer. And however, in this tutorial, certain classification of software is given. So we start from the slide. Yeah. Okay, so what is software? Simply the instructions in the form of programs which control the operations of computer together with the associated documentation. Yeah. Software is a set of electronic instructions that tells the computer how to do certain tasks. A set of instructions is often called a program. Yeah. So software, a set of instruction, or let's say a program may be interchangeable, but there are no hard and fast rules. So overall, we say the programs that run the computer and which we cannot see, but we assume that something is running the computer. That's a software. Yeah. When a computer is running a particular program, it is said to be running or executing the program. Yeah. So
okay, yeah.
If a program is running, so that's in the execution phase. Two types of the software: system software and application software. Yeah.
Yeah.
So system software that coordinate the operation of the computer, facilitate the efficient use of computer's resources, and assist in the development of application programs. So the system software, it coordinates the whatever the operations are performed in a computer, they are because of the system software. Yeah. It facilitates like efficient use whatsoever, management of those resources, and as well as it helps to develop the application programs. So further, we will explain that what are the application programs. So the next point is system software exists primarily for the computer itself to help the computer perform specific functions. In other words, without system software, you cannot run your computer. That's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So major type of system software is one of them is the operating system. Yeah. And do you know or can you name any other system softwares apart from the operating system?
What as in application software?
No. I mean, we are here, we are discussing the system software and its types, then application software. My question is, can you give me the names of other system softwares?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, operating system software would be things like, if I start from from what I would consider the beginning, is something like MS-DOS.
No. Sorry. My question is that let's say there are certain types in the application software. Yeah. However, in the system software, there are types as well. The operating system is one of them.
Okay. Do you mean things like the kernel?
Something like that. Maybe the kernel, maybe but kernel is itself the part of operating system that runs all the time. You can say that utility programs, yeah, like a utility programs, even the Windows is not running into the, let's say, computer, but they help you to access the computer, like the disk managers, yeah, the virus killers, yeah, utility programs, defragmenters. Even you are not operating the, you are not getting the operating system running at all, yeah, but some tools and tools and that run before the loading of the operating system, they are considered as a the system software.
Okay, okay, so but even before the operating systems, I think, so something like the BIOS.
Let's say BIOS, or let's say disk formators, yeah, and disk defragmenters, utility tools, yeah, even virus
Yeah.
killers, yeah. And there is something you just imagine, and so they are, because in a book I read, years ago, then those are considered as, an system software as well. Yeah, makes
Okay.
sense. Obviously, those who help to access the hardware even before loading the operating system, they are considered as the system software. So among those, they can be the disk formaters. Let's say, for example, disk defragmenters. It's not the case that you defragment the hard drive into the Windows, but you can load the disk defragmenter before loading the Windows. Make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
get it now.
So
Okay.
some kind of utility programs that directly access to the hardware, they come under the system software.
Great. Okay. Yeah.
So in simple words, it's not only the operating system, the first thing that is the system software, but it is one of them. Let's say make it
Yeah.
so. Yeah. So we can
Yeah.
explore it later on, that how many or which one list are.
Sorry, I've lost. You're breaking up. Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, now can you hear me?
I can now. I missed quite. Were you talking then for a while?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on the last slide, previous slide. Says that one of the major type of system software is the operating system. All computers require an operating system. So operating system itself, the operating system tells the computer how to interact with the user and its own devices. Common operating systems include Windows, Macintosh, OS2, Unix, and Linux. Yeah. So that's not only the Windows or Linux, but there are still many more operating systems in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
A program that acts an intermediary between a user of computer and the computer hardware. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we are in connection with the computer hardware, or we communicate with the hardware via operating system. Yeah. Operating system controls and coordinates the use of hardware among the various application programs for the various users. It is also called as a resource allocator, which manages and allocates the resources. So like your memory, your primary memory, your secondary memory, your peripheral devices like a USB, like a CD-ROM, these are the resources. So operating system uh, allocates those resources to you according to the need. It is also called as a control program, which controls the execution of user programs and operations of I/O devices. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And kernel is the one program that running at all the times, all else being application programs. So apart from the application programs, the kernel itself is the program which runs it all the time. Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe you can say that operating system, the initial operating system, if you are doing nothing, yeah, if you are not accessing any resource, you are not performing at any task, then that particular part of the operating system is the kernel.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in simple words, if we want to explain the operating system, yeah, then probably if we don't list out these features, then probably we might say that what is window? Window is operating system is the Windows, and Windows is you have a mouse, you have a my computer, and you have a my browser. That's the definition, but that's not indeed. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the operating system is basically has to do many things like a kernel, control program, allocator, and the program who coordinates these things. So these important definitions are basically makes you understand very well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So operating system types normally, the if we talk about the Windows, then it used to be the Microsoft DOS. It used to be like a Microsoft disk operating system. It used to be like a console. Yeah, a console like black screen, and you used to write through the command prompt. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you must have used it. Yeah,
Yeah. I've used it. Yeah.
still we use it. Most of the time when we need to access some files, and Windows is not helping us, especially in networking.
Yeah. 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 The,
So
there's some
yeah.
troubleshooting programs that we use for it.
Yeah, troubleshooting program, checking the network connection using the ping, command.
Yeah. Yeah. And MS lookup. That's another one I use.
Yeah, lots of things basically. And
Yeah.
okay, so GUI simply for graphical user interface. Initially, there used to be no operating system with the graphical user interface, but later on, they came in with the graphics and icons and many more things. And there is, there are nowadays only we use, the GUI based operating system like System 7.x, Windows 98, Windows CE 7, 8, 10, or maybe don't know. Next few years there would be lots of versions of the operating systems. So more definitions or more characteristics of the operating system. One of them like a multi-user. A multi-user operating system allows for multiple users to use these.
Sorry, you're breaking up again. Sorry, you're breaking up.
You can't hear me. Okay. Okay.
I can hear you now.
Okay, that's fine. Can I ask, are you using a browser for Join Me, or you have application of Join Me?
I'm using a browser. Does it work better with the application? Does it?
I think so. That's what it clicked in my mind. Which browser you are using?
Chrome. Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello,
So
yeah.
which browser do you use?
I use Chrome.
Okay, Chrome is, much more efficient, but what I believe that browser is still, suffers from like a caching and buffering. So I would advise you to install the application, and it should do better than the browser.
Yeah, okay. Shall I
Yeah.
do that today, or we'll leave it for next time?
Next time, I think so. Yeah. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
because it will need you to create your, you have created your user already. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay. So next time, yeah. So I was talking about the multi-user. Initially, the computers used to be standalone. Yeah. They used to have, only one user, and that's it. But then later on, the concepts came in like a mainframe computer, yeah, or mini computers. What used to be there, that individual users were given only the monitor and keyboard, and they were connected with the one computer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So then those operating systems, you know, were proud of that time that, oh, these the many computers are, sorry, the many users were connected with one computer. But nowadays, our normal computer, normal operating system, you can, let's say, enter into the one computer like a Active Directory. Yeah, you can access that particular one central server. Yeah, you can store the data, and probably you can get the processing power from that computer from, a terminal or from a computer, and that operating system would be considered as a multi-user operating system. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So at
Yeah.
one time, if you are entering, if you allow multiple users, maybe in other context, like, Active Directory may be the one of the good example, and you store your data, yeah, centrally, and that would be considered as a multi-user. And obviously, not only the storage, but certain programs could be shared from, accessed, which are shared over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
an operating system capable of supporting and utilizing more than one computer processor. Examples of operating system that would fall into this category are Linux, Unix, Windows XP. Let's say it says, for example, from Windows XP. But before than that, when there used to be like a Windows 3.1, Windows 3.4, and uh, Windows, I don't remember, that used to be in 2002. Yeah. But I remember Windows 3.1 was a very new version of graphical user interface Windows. Yeah. And the mouse used to be, a new thing in those days. Yeah. And obviously, the operating system became graphical user as well as, but since then, until the dual processors came in, yeah, like Windows, sorry, let me, make the thing separate from the operating system and the hardware. For example, the processors used to be single, yeah, until let's say dual core. Okay.
Yeah.
Until dual core, they used to have one processor and one core. But when they introduced the dual core and then core to duo, then the physical processors were, you know, more than one. Then older operating systems were not designed to support the multi-processors, but since then, let's say Windows XP allowed to utilize more than one processors. Okay, so means
Yeah.
for example, if you have a dual core processor, then minimum you need the Windows XP to run the or to utilize the dual core processor. However, if you wanted to run the, let's say, older operating system like a Windows 3.0, yeah, then probably that won't work on the dual processor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense now.
Yeah.
So multitasking, an operating system that is capable of allowing multiple software processes to run at the same time. Previously, like in MS-DOS, yeah, the console based operating systems, they did not support the multitasking, did they?
No. MS-DOS. No, that didn't support
No.
multitasking.
So at that time, only they used to support only one program running at a one time, the only one task. Yeah. So for example, yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, which is probably why MS-DOS never really crashed.
MS-DOS was crashed.
Yeah, it never crashed though, did it? It was quite stable.
It was stable, but we can't say that if today's operating system are multitasking, then they crash. We can't say, yeah. But only, yeah, it won't be feasible to explain that it was a single task and didn't crash, but that's not true every time. Even the MS-DOS could hang.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when the computers had a problem loading like a programs like a Fast Pro and DB and Excel, the old one, yeah, then programs used to hang and we didn't have any option to close the window of that particular program, but only we needed to restart the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Windows we press Control Alt Delete and then we end the task. However, in older computers in single tasking, we only had an option to restart the computer. So anyways, so multitasking means allowing more programs, more than one program at one time. And then there is a concept of multi-threading. Yeah, operating system that allows different parts of a software program to run concurrently. Yeah, so multi-threading is basically a kind of programming paradigm, yeah, in which you create different threads of a program, yeah, they run on itself. Yeah, so programmatically, have you done Java?
No, I haven't. No.
In Java program, what you need to do, you create a multiple threads, yeah, and what they do, like for example, if you created a thread and let it run on their own, for example, it gave you you created display like a 1 3 5 7 like odd numbers, and another thread wanted to print like a 4 2 4 6 the even numbers, and you gave them access to the screen, then probably they can somehow print like a 1 2 3 4 5, a mixture of odd and even numbers. But they would be produced from the different threads of a program.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
So that's about the multi-threading. When you divide or distribute the task of a single program into, what happens basically in normal programming, the program executes in sequence. Yeah, the normal computer program that executes in sequence, and it only moves further towards the next line of execution until whenever the first line is, for example, the previous line is completed. Yeah, but in the multi-threaded programming, if the thread was initiated and executed, then it would be running on their own into the memory, and the next parts of the program would be running as another thread to continue the program execution. Yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, so it was again in 2002.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. So
yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think there is definitely some problem of buffering. I'm not sure whether my system is little bit, my laptop is little bit slow as well. And but next time we will try to, you try to be on the application instead of browser, and hopefully we will resolve it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
So what I was explaining, that multi-threading was introduced into the Java programming, and we were able to, do the programs slicing into the multiple threads. Yeah, into and it gave a kind of good illustration. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can't hear you.
Systems. Now we come to the application software. Yeah.
Yeah.
Application software can be general purpose application software and special purpose application software. The general purpose application softwares are basically made for general purposes like word processing, where you deal with the creating, editing, printing text-based documents, spreadsheets, organize, calculate and graph-based data, database management systems, organizes related data so that it can easily be retrieved, presentations like professional looking graphics, communications like World Wide Web. So all they come under the general purpose application software. So when you use the World Wide Web, you generally access the, let's say, internet. You use the presentation, like PowerPoint, you get it. You use the spreadsheets in the Excel, you access the databases, maybe in Access, word processing, generally in the Word Notepad, maybe the WordPad or Microsoft Word. So they are general one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Special purpose, they are designed to perform certain special tasks. For example, you created to manage anything for accounting purposes, entertainment, education, scientific and engineering. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the classification into general purpose and special purpose. Now, World Wide Web, simply abbreviated as the World Wide Web, or web, is an information space where the documents and other web resources are identified. Can I ask a silly question? Simply, what is the difference between the internet and World Wide Web?
The World Wide Web tends to be like websites, doesn't it? XML, that kind of stuff. Whereas the internet is all the other bits. It can be various systems connected together. It can be different services, various different bits and pieces run on the internet, whereas the web is just, I always see it as just websites which have just HTML and other things on top of it, like Java and stuff.
Yeah. So the internet is the network of networks. Yeah. And World Wide Web is a part of internet that is very specifically based on the web pages accessed via a URL and obviously in HTML. Yeah. However, the internet can, like the web, World Wide Web is accessed over the internet. Apart from the World Wide Web, there can be certain instant messaging like a file transfers and many other programs they could run on the internet as well. Yeah. So we can say that www is a kind of child of internet. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Now, web applications impact of World Wide Web, 5 positive effects of the internet. It is easier to do research using the web. Communication with family and friends and relatives is faster using the web. There is a great possibility to earn while working from home. That's true. So nowadays you can work from home. For example, I'm working as a tutor, working from home. Yeah.
Yeah. I work from home sometimes.
Yeah, like anything else, like a data entry or something else. So these are the advantages. Faster business transactions and cheaper products. That's true. So you get any transfer of payments or anything done online very quickly. Previously there used to be if there were no online banking, then you used to pay via check, via postal draft, or via cash. You need to go, and the products used to be very expensive. However, due to the competition, you get a cheaper prices, and saving on travel cost. Obviously, you buy the things from home. Negative effects of internet, like children, young adults, and even adults get addicted to games online. Yeah. So that's also the pornography is uncontrolled as well. Lots of loss of human touch, real social contact loss. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Everybody is looking at the phone nowadays, and even if a couple is sitting together and they have been doing their own stuff on their own.
Yeah, what I try to do is when I go on holiday, I try not to take my phone with me.
Yeah.
To try and break away from technology, but sometimes it's difficult.
It's difficult and even not possible, because you have to be connected back with your friends and family, because you really care about them to get any update from them if they are okay every single minute.
Yeah, it is difficult, but I've done it for a few days and then touch base again. But it's just nice not to have any technology sometimes.
Yeah, but
Basically,
unfortunately, for example, if you have elderly parents, yeah,
yeah.
you can't, keep the phone away.
No, there is one problem though that I experienced recently was that where I went there was no mobile phone signal.
That's
Um,
another, problem. But if you had the one and you were unable
yeah,
to, yeah. So, but this is the another, case that it says if you have, the loss of human touch, it means even if you are sitting, you know, if you are in a one home, yeah, then probably you spend less time in real communication with the friends and like a family members, and you spend more time on your mobile on internet.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So criminal elements use information to advance their malicious intents. So obviously, because of the internet, certain criminal elements could also happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Abandonment of a family, that's one of them. Yeah, criminal elements like, hacking and, anything can be done. Like, uh, to annoy someone, yeah, to blackmail someone, yeah, or to, get someone's, the personal information. There can be many more things, that could be because of the internet and some harmful for someone, like, public figure or the whereabouts, what you do, yeah, where do you go. But nowadays it has been changed that we disclose everything. If we go from home to coffee shop, yeah, we ourselves, give the status, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But for example, we don't know if we don't want, but still our devices are, traced, yeah. Devices are traced for the marketing purposes, yeah. But for example, if somebody can harm me, yeah, and they can hack my, devices, and they can really, harm me very easily. Yeah.
yeah. It's not good, is it?
We're talking about the negative effects of internet. So it can, its negative can put you into loss into any criminal activity, no matter you do, but you can be the victim of any activity.
Yeah.
So now the architecture of web application, general architecture for web applications can be described as a user from a browser initiating an application that may run on one or more websites. Websites communicate to one another and may exchange data or start processes. Websites are accessed via URL, for example, bbc.co.uk. So architecture wise, you access internet via browser, but the websites, they can communicate with another website as well on their own. Is it clear?
So, sorry?
Normally a user accesses the website, yeah,
Yeah.
from a browser, but the website itself access the other websites.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
For example, do you know, can you give me an example?
Um, Access is another website. Let me think. Um, what can happen is, like for example, on uh, eBay would access another website which is PayPal.
Not really. That can be the, uh, that can be one of example, but another example like a sky scanner, yeah. When you type on the sky scanner, it gives you the all the flights, prices, and schedules of all airlines the same thing you get from, let's say, from the individual airline websites as well.
Is that so? So when it does that, is it actually going through the website? Is it directly through the website?
Yeah, that's basically called the web service.
Okay.
Yeah, and can be also as a portal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, they communicate because when use the Sky Scanner, the server behind, they communicate with the other websites at one time, and more than one website, and gives you the one output at one time. Have you ever tried this? The Sky Scanner, or when you really put anything on the Google or like a cheapflights.com, yeah, then they communicate with the other website. Indeed, they don't store the data, of the multiple airlines, multiple fares, and you every time you get updated, like a hotels, like a booking.com, yeah, it communicates with those websites. Make sense?
Oh, yeah, yeah. All that makes sense. That's fine. I thought that all that kind of stuff, like holiday prices and all those kind of things, I thought it was all like on a database, and the websites went to the database rather than going to the other website. But that's interesting. I didn't realise that. That's something new I've learned.
No, you mean that, for example, they have stored their data in advance?
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. They do at real time.
That's good. That's good. That's good to know.
But only with one exception, that they, for example, the Sky Scanner doesn't go to the web page, but they request to their server in a programming way.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, you as a user, you send some request via browser, but it is not only the option to access the particular website via browser. However, you can still access those web pages via a form as well, or any computer program. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah, like what happens when you use an app. App is a kind of small application program, yeah, into the mobile, and it does the same thing. It communicates with the same website, but it gives you the output in a different way.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Yeah. So architecture of web applications. So now we talk about the different types of the web application. Like one of them is the static web application, displays little content, non-flexible, developed in HTML, CSS, jQuery, and caters images, objects, GIFs, and videos. Other type is dynamic web application, complex on technical level, uses database for loading data and content, operates with administrative panel called CMS. Content modification is simple and handy, developed using PHP and ASP. Do you know the exact difference between the static pages website and the dynamic web page website?
Yeah. A static page is everything that is called the first time round is on the page. It won't necessarily change.
Yeah.
A dynamic page will look the same to start with, maybe, but then when you type something into a box or you select something, it then goes off and gets the information and puts it back on the screen. So the information on the page can change.
In other words, like the browser that you get, yeah, as a user, you get in either case, the static output, yeah.
Yeah.
Because on your browser, the page content that you get is not changeable; it is static. However, the server you are accessing, if it is the static page, then it would directly be loaded from the server to your browser. However, if it is dynamic, then the content of the page would be dynamically, you know, uh, rewritten or programmed, yeah, and then after dynamically creating the HTML page is being sent to you.
Okay.
Yeah, means for example, when you type hotmail.co.uk, yeah, then the page you will be looking of your emails would be different from my hotmail.co, because my page would be dynamically generated and it would be containing the emails of my own account. Yeah. So that's the difference between the dynamic web page and the static web page. Yeah. So every time the dynamic page is basically not, provided using the simple HTML, but it is done in the, programming languages which allow you the dynamic programming. So that's the difference. Then shop online or e-commerce is one kind of the application to non-very involve the electronic payments, operate with administrative panel to add, delete, modify product information, fully responsive application. Mobile version is a clone of web app. Then a portal web apps access content, various sections or categories through homepage, includes chats, forums, emails, latest content. So for example, a web portal, a kind of, the keyflights.com, Skyscanner. This is a web portal that will give you a kind of, holiday packages altogether.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Then animated web applications, probably, you get a multimedia website that has only animations, maybe games, or that is one kind of, the you can say animated one. Then web applications with the CMS, like have you heard about the Joomla and WordPress?
Yeah, I've heard of WordPress before. Our website here runs on that.
Yeah. So they are basically called the content management system. So you don't need to create the programming for for the pages, yeah, for your dynamic website, but it's already helps you to manage, use, edit, update, delete whatsoever the pages you want to include into this, that are based on the content management system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the term web services, yes. As I explained earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
That, a web service, yeah, like you are getting multiple websites into one, like a portal. That is basically a kind of web service, but however, a new term, a new technology introduction is basically the web service. What the web service does is, have you heard about the cloud computing?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So you don't need to have a program running on your computer or any of the application. You hire a service. Yeah. And when you are hiring a service, basically, you are connecting with the directory of the services first, UDDI, yeah, and you describe your web, the service using WSDL, web service description language, and you use the protocol like simple object access protocol, yeah, to communicate with. So that's about the web service, and that is the next step towards the World Wide Web. Is that clear?
Yeah, I can understand the basics of that. Yeah.
So that's about the web service. That's a kind of advanced topic, but the idea behind is that you normally allow your services to be stored at a central location, yeah, and then you basically search those services first and communicate them via a one particular protocol, which is let's say so simple object access protocol. Everyone you will be using as a simple object protocol. More interesting thing, like the, for example, the Emirates One airline. Yeah, One airline is a service provider. Yeah, and it allows you to get the airline schedules and prices to be accessed via the sky scanner. What do you think? That the sky scanner would be, communicating with a kind of a specific language, or it would be general? That would be the very general, communication protocol. And all other, for example, tomorrow I want to create a website like a sky scanner, then I will be using that web service, using the web service description language, using the SOAP protocol, using their directory. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot to this. I'm a lot here, which is good.
Yeah. So that is because of the web service. Because an airline, schedules and prices on their own is for the user, but when they really want to become a service, then they really become available over, the paradigm of web services, which runs on the service oriented architecture. Then there are certain, are you available for more time now?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, I've
Okay,
got.
so let me quickly, complete these things. So next is the mobile applications. Yeah, and a mobile application software or mobile app is an application software designed to run on mobile devices such as smartphones, tablets. Mobile apps often stand in contrast to desktop applications that run on desktops. So app is short term for the application software. Role of mobile applications: they provide a better communication. Yeah, obviously you know that they are, because of the handheld device, you get a better communication. It gives you the social media. I'm going through the through quickly, because these terms are self-defined, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can repeat the text I have written, and if you have any confusion, then we can discuss it later on or via email. You can ask the questions anytime. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Organizes life. Mobile apps, obviously the apps that you use, they help you to organize, like organizers, calendars, and many more things. To-do list, you get it from them. Yeah, previously the life was very difficult. If you didn't have a mobile, then you need to have a kind of diary, and and need to write down the schedules and many more things, isn't it?
Yeah.
But certain issues are there. Yeah, like a small screen is a problem for the mobile. Yeah, single window, at one time you can only use a one program. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Touch screen problems, every time when you try to access the screens, then it is difficult. Like for example, if your hands are wet, yeah, hence your hands are not clean, then you have a difficulty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
Yeah. Then GPS, camera, accelerometer, voice, and other phone features, they sometimes make a problem with you when you use them. Like, at one time, you are using the GPS, and, you use the other features, they somehow interact with each other and, make problems. Have you ever faced those?
Yeah.
Like this, at the moment, the mobile itself is not capable to do, that much things, very well as compared to the laptops and other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we get quite a lot of connectivity problems in this area.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've experienced them. I'm sure everyone has. And it just, I always find it upsets the bit of kit, doesn't it? No, it just.
I mean, for example, if you are accessing a video, yeah, then probably you will have difficulty in typing.
Mm.
Yeah, if you to get around some of the difficulty of typing, you are on a video call, and well, we don't go into the detail, but however, because of the small device, you have some difficulty in GPS, camera, and accessing these things at one time, and as compared to, if you are using a GPS separately, then you would get a better one. Like, maybe a camera, you might get better camera. So anyways, we move further, and we can explore the problems of, these camera and, these features, we can further explore, but we are not, going into the more detail now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So security issues, building secure apps. For example, if you are launching the app for a bank, then it's not easy for you to make it secure. You need extra, something extra capabilities, extra, experience in order to launch the secure apps. Make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, no one can, do these secure things very quickly, but there is a risk involved. So that is an issue. Yeah. Making devices risk aware. Obviously, that sometimes some of the applications try to access your photographs, some your camera, and there is a risk involved into it, isn't it?
Yeah, there's always a risk in these things.
Yeah. So that's issue. And preventing data theft and leakage, there is more, problems or, possibilities that data can be theft or can be leaked. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And restricting high risk assets and transactions. So these are, the problems related with the mobile apps. So we discussed the good things as well as, the some issues as well. So maybe by the passage of time, these issues could be, resolved. Yeah. And but however, certain issues would still remain persist. Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm little bit, late according to my schedule. So, however, we have done, last bits, very quickly. And sorry about that. But if you still have any questions from these slides, then in the next class, we can discuss about it. Or if you can ask the questions via email from any of the slides and by referring the particular, slide number. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. When will the next one be? What's the plan now?
Really depends on you. If you are okay on weekends, then should be fine. And if you can take a break from the work on the weekdays, then I should still be able to make it, but only provided we should have a 24-hour uh, before confirmation.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let me know when the next one is, when the next lecture is, and I'll accept it or decline or whatever.
That will be fine then. Yeah. So
Yeah.
which one
Okay.
do you prefer now at the moment?
Sorry. Which one do I prefer?
Yeah.
To be honest, probably weekends, but yeah, I would prefer weekends, maybe Saturdays, but during the week is fine.
Okay. So even means on any day you can take a break and you can attend as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. By the end of this week, yeah, like on Friday, I would ask you to either to attend on weekend or weekend by on weekdays. Yeah, we will be in touch.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll wait for you to get in contact with me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. So because I myself, don't know that whether the weekend will be free at all, or sometime, you make the program with the family to go out, somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
In
That's
any
fine.
ways, I would, contact you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So is there another session like this on the for this module? Is there?
No, there were only two learning outcomes in this module. So module is complete, and you can go to the assignment brief from the Moodle, yeah, and you can start working on the assignment as well.
Right. Okay. And then so how does this work then? Do I the next session? Do we move on to the next module? Do we?
Yes, we will definitely move on the next module, and your assignment work would be the additional work on your side that you need to do, and you will send the assignment done, and you will be assessed on a separate time, and you will be given
Okay.
the feedback in the word in commenting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me know what you want to do. Either the weekdays or the weekends. That's fine with me.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, and however, you can start to write your assignment from now.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. Thanks for your help.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, and bye, and see you soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.